I'm about to go big. About to buy me some studio time.
Alright folks, today's video is Kenyans have a terrible culture, human worship, entitlement, etc. from a creator called JP Sims. Let's dive into the video and see what she has to say about it.
I've been getting a lot of questions from the people around me about why I've decided to stay in the village after I came back from France. And for the past year, the answer that I was giving people is, oh, I just like being in the village. I really didn't think that there was more to it. But recently I had an experience that really made it very clear why I made that decision. Recently decided after a very long time to open a bank account in Kenya, basically because I needed it urgently. I needed a bank account that is in Kenya, and I opened the account online and I had a couple of problems with it. I tried speaking with the customer service of the bank and realized a lot of these people don't even know what they're talking about. I was telling them the issues I have with, and they just look clueless. So of course I had to go to the branch in the nearest town, and I got there and it was just a whole...
Bro, hold on. What are those people she's talking about that were clueless? I think she went to those agents that are in the hood. Those guys are not going to help you with serious matters regarding to your account. It's better she went to the main branch.
A few minutes into being in the bank, I was like, oh, now I know why I really chose to stay in the village. The major reason why I've decided to just stay in the village and not really interact with the outside world or the larger Kenyan society is because of the culture of Kenyan people. And I know when you go to social media, a lot of people are blaming Kenyan leaders. I mean, yes, they are doing something wrong, but after studying a lot of the behaviors that Kenyan people exhibit, it was really clear for me.
Bro, I'm noticing that this video has a lot of cuts. The video itself might seem seamless from scene to scene, but when you listen carefully to the audio, you can hear the jump from one scene to another. Me personally, nowadays, I prefer to just shoot the video the way it is, because if you are having a silence in the video or a pause, that's natural, bro. Like not all the people can speak fluently and have like these robotic kind of speech that is perfect. So I think it's normal. But anyway, it's up to the creator and you, how you feel. You can express yourself because you can use the editing softwares to cut the spaces and the voids.
That these Kenyan leaders are a direct representation of the Kenyan people. All the bad things that you see these leaders doing, Kenyan people are doing them, and I've spoken about this in many videos. I even have a playlist about Kenyan.
Bro, I'm going to exaggerate, not to exaggerate, I'm going to agree with her. The same way that Kenyans are criticizing the leaders, I think it also affects Kenyans. For example, it's not like I'm supporting the leaders, but you know, sometimes when you are correcting someone or you are criticizing someone, you should also view it as with this point that am I also doing the same? You feel me? Because I will give you this example. Let's say you are saying leaders are wrong or they are looting money, but from the ground, let's say when you go when you go into the matatus, kunakuwa na hii culture fulani wanakuwa nao, kuna sambaza, that sambaza seat. Normally haifai kuwa hapo, hiyo inafaa ikuwe space ya wase kupita wakiingia ndani. But I have never seen a Kenyan, very few decline to board it. Ama hadi wakidecline hawezi raise their voice and say it's wrong. Wanatoka wanakataa kupanda due to a comfort, like they want that seat comfort and maybe wait for another matatu that's coming later after the current one. You feel me? But many people wako na haraka, watadandio matatu kwa hiyo sambaza seat, hiyo yenye imejazwa kwa hiyo space hapo katikati, so that they may head to where they are going to, maybe town or anywhere. You feel me? It's a 14-seater matatu, but it carries 4 extra people and they agree. So why are we criticizing the government, yet there's society matters at the lower level, we cannot correct them ourselves? It means that there's people ranting, yet they are doing this. For example, the Sambaza stuff I've told you, it means that wakipewa chance hadi wakuwa leaders, there is a higher probability they are going also to loot the money. There is a higher probability bado watakuwa pia bad leaders. So I feel like to criticize leaders pia sisi to set ourselves as an example.
problems. This experience at the bank really showed something very clearly. It's this worship of human beings that Kenyans have. Basically, when you have money, you are going to be worshipped in this country.
For
People
sure.
don't even care about how you got your money. They don't care whether you used illegal means. Just because you have money, it means that they will literally do anything for you. They will subjugate themselves. They will submit on their own. Something that I really found very interesting when I got to the bank is that no one really cared so much about helping me, because I just look like a normal person. I don't have expensive things that I can wear that can show, oh my god, I have money. And so I was just treated like a normal. That means that you are ignored. No one even tries to think that whatever you are saying or whatever problems you're trying to explain to them is serious, because they think, oh, you do not understand anything. You're just a normal Kenyan. At the moment, the person...
Bro, I can relate to that, bro. Like, whenever you go to this customer care services areas in Kenya, Simnakapo, there is a waiting bay. So it's most likely like it's up to you to show them that you need the service. No one will come to you like, you go there, what are you waiting for? If it happens, maybe ni once in a while, nanipata. But unaweza enda hapo kwa bank, kaa hapo ukingojea your direction. Hakuna mse atakwambia sijui ati yo kuja hapa, you feel me? So that's how it works.
That was serving me took my ID, and then they looked at the kind of account I have. Oh, suddenly the demeanor changed. This grown-up man was behaving as
differently,
if he's serving me. All of a sudden, he was even introducing himself, telling me his name, and I was just shocked. I'm like, you were treating me like I was a nuisance just a few minutes ago.
The harsh reality,
now
bro.
You're treating me like I'm royalty. I was even taken to a different part of the bank where the sofa sets are so bouncy, they're so comfortable. You're even offered tea.
Okay, bro, now I'm getting it. Whenever I go to Equity Bank, when I was schooling in the western side of Kenya, when I was going to pay for the school fees, I usually saw that there is the lower level. They were, your building and your equity ilikuwa located in, ilikuwa in such a manner that it was having, let's say, a couple more floors, 2 floors, okay? It was reaching towards the second floor. So it means that the higher you go, in short, what I'm trying to say, ukipanda uko juu inamaanisha you are a valuable person, like you are given that royalty treatment. The other regular people, ground floor.
I am the princess, the king, the queen. And all this because I had a Euro account. I found this to be extremely astonishing because personally, I believe that everybody should be treated with dignity, with respect.
It doesn't work that way, bro.
Not. Clearly, that is one of the reasons why I really don't fit into the larger Kenyan culture, and I'm always being told that I'm abnormal and bizarre and not Kenyan enough. I really don't see the big deal about having a Euro account or a dollar account. It's just an account like any other, and it doesn't make you better than the other person. It's just a different type of account. So why are you treating me differently? This is a huge Kenyan problem, this classism, where people put you on a pedestal. And you know, there's this thing with Kenyans where they assign morality to everything. So if you have more money, you are considered to be someone who is more moral than other person. And that's why when it comes to something like poverty, a lot of people are not really concerned about eradicating poverty because they believe that poverty is a moral problem. Find that a lot of people don't even care when bad things happen to poor people because they're like, oh, they deserved it because they're poor. You see this playing out even in cases like femicide. Fortunately, a lot of the women who are being targeted or who are victims are women who are poor. It's not all of them, but majority of the cases. And so a lot of the reaction of a lot of Kenyan people, both men and women, is that, oh, they were killed because they were trying to chase a man's money. People believe that just because you're poor, you do not deserve to be treated with dignity or with respect. This classism is really dangerous because it really means that when things are happening to poor people, no one is really caring. But they don't realize that once they keep quiet or don't care about these bad things happening to poor people, they're actually allowing for these bad things to become culture. Once it becomes culture, you cannot actually get rid of it, and it's eventually going to affect you, whether you're a middle class person or you're someone who is in the ruling class. A good example is the high cost of living that people have been complaining about, or the tax increase. And in the past year, this is something that a lot of Kenyans have been saying, this is unfair, our government is killing us. And I'm like, this has been happening for a very long time, but the problem,
Bro, what I'm going to say about the social classes is that Kenya is a place whereby politicians are given their praise a lot. I don't know why, bro. Like a politician can pull up to a certain hood, let's say a field in a certain hood, okay? There are no people, but if he pulls up there without even telling people, within a very short period of time, people will just accumulate the whole stadium, bro. Out of nowhere. It's like they don't have something to do. This politician worshipping stuff, bro. I don't know, bro. Because it's similar to the way that, let's say in US, from my own opinion, I think that in the US, they do worship celebrities, to be specific, artists more than the politician. But here in Kenya, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. Because here in Kenya, bro, you can be, who is the biggest celebrity in Kenya right now? No celebrity. You know, even a politician can be a celebrity. Let's say an artist. Who is the biggest artist in Kenya right now? A person like Octopizo. Octopizo, I know he is known in Kibera, okay? But I know Octo can pull up to a certain area where he is not known. Let's say, in Lamu in Mombasa. And I can guarantee you not many people will follow him. The kind of ile yenye ametokea ni kaya yeye ni a regular person, anafanya tu shughuli zake, anatembea. Maybe 3 or 4 people might recognize, maybe at most let's say 20, ile after some time, say a sequence of 5 minutes, hata pull your crowd, cause people wameshikanisha politicians na wakikuja, when the politician pull up, it's like they are handouts to be given out. You feel me? And that shows the kind of poverty we are in.
problem is, when it was happening to the poor people, when they were crying out, no one was listening to them. So by the time it got to the middle class, that is when people were now shouting, because of course the middle class has a lot of the economic power, and the high cost of living getting into their pockets becomes a problem. Taxation getting into their pockets becomes a problem, and now they're the loudest. It's like you've been quiet for the past 15 years because it wasn't happening to you. It really baffles me how this has become so rampant, and people are just accepting it as that is just life. When you go to those government offices, it's even much worse, because they're looking at how you dress, they're looking at your family name, do you look like someone who has money, and that is how they approach their service. A lot of people are really frustrated in these governmental offices, and yet you're paying taxes for this service.
Bro, that's very true. And I don't know if you can relate with this, but it happens mostly. I don't know if it still happens, but during the time when I was done with Form 4, you know, ideally when you're done with Form 4 in Kenya, you are 18 years, okay? Most of the people, even though I think in a fake way, perfect. You are 18, so you are expected to, after 18, to get the ID, national ID, because now you are considered to be a young adult. So a popular spot for getting IDs in Nairobi ni Makadara, bro. I remember going with my homie there. We were going to get the ID, and bro, tribalism was crazy. And we were told to wait. There is a place where, I don't know, the chief or sub-chief of your area is supposed to sign. You feel me? Is supposed to sign to show that you are interested, or maybe for whatever reason. I don't know even why they asked that. So the sub-chief of our area couldn't sign it, or we saw that it wasn't a must, because in our area we don't have the location to apply for the IDs and to collect them. So that's one of the areas to collect them, that Makadara place. And then later I learned that the sub-chief, or that chief, I don't remember, he was hiding. Ni kama wamemweka behind a paywall. So there are this kind of, I don't know, ladies, mwenye anakuja anakwambia, acha nikufanyia, I'll give you the service faster if you give me 100 shillings. So people are giving out 100 shillings, and then the lady is taking that paper to be signed by the chief. So imagine, bro. The chief amejifungia kwa container huko, yet they are lying that the chief is not around to sign. They are telling us, go back to your chief, the chief of your area, to sign for you. And I was lucky because the chief happened to be from my tribe. Now I was forced, he greeted me because he saw my name, okay? So he treated me like, oh, in our tribe, okay? He treated me, and then because I also wanted to get out of there, bro, it was a long day. I I fumbled or I mumbled a few words in our tribe. They say, okay, okay. And then they signed, bro. But my dog wasn't lucky. He was fed up and said, nah, I'm going to do it another way. So do you know what he did? He went back to their home place because there is no way. Alienda ushago kwao. There is no way watakukata ushago kwenu. So that tells you how tribalism is deep in Kenya, bro. And I hope that it has changed because that was about, I don't know, 5 or 4 years ago. That's crazy.
But when you go there, you are being mistreated just because you don't look like someone who has money. The civil servants who are working in these governmental offices, they take this as a moment to exercise the power that they feel they have over you, because you are just a lowly Kenyan and I am a government officer. If I tell you to jump, you need to jump. If I tell you to crawl, you need to crawl. If I tell you to back, you need to back, because if you don't do whatever it is that I tell you, I'm going to deny you, whether it's a passport. Sometimes they even tell you, why are you looking for a passport? You don't even look like someone who affords a plane ticket. How did we get here? Why is this something that is tolerated? And why is this something that people are actually promoting, even in their day-to-day lives, even in their own families? The other thing that I've really noticed is this entitlement culture. And this is one of the things that I also experienced at the bank. It's very clear when you get to the bank, you find other people are there, you sit down according to line, according to how people came in. But what I found is that there's some people, and this was actually majority of people, come into the bank, they see people are seated waiting for their turn, but they disregard everyone and they just want to go straight to the teller, get their business taken care of.
There is always a loophole.
Wait, so you think all the other people who are seated there waiting for their turn, they are stupid? Think that they have nothing more important to do? Think that whatever business that you have is more important than waiting for your turn? This is actually a huge problem in Kenyan society. This lack of discipline, this lack of thinking about other people and how your actions are going to affect other people. It's one of the reasons why you will see Kenyan leaders, they mirror.
Bro, but about that sitting stuff and then other people come and pass you, I feel like sometimes it's just because most of the people are poor. And I saw a report earlier that I don't know, it's 70%, about 70% of Kenyans are living below the poverty line. So that's crazy. I feel like in the slums or where these poor people are living, the way they are raised, they lack that ability to express themselves. Bro, I see the difference between US whenever I see those videos, ranting videos, let's say it's a public altercation, compared it to Kenya. Kenyans generally are nice people. You feel me? So when that similar occasion appears or happens in the US, bro, even the poor, those poor guys, they will rant. I feel like they have that ability to protect themselves, even though they don't have money. They will still confront you. They tell you, nah, you can't treat me like that. Of course, not everybody, but majority of them. Here in Kenya, only when the poor people or the lower class people are provoked to the point that their life is put on the edge, that's where now they react. But otherwise, they see that, I don't have money, I can't fight these big people. Nah, let them just go. You feel me? It's sad, bro.
Or this kind of behavior at a large scale when they decide to exempt themselves from taxes. If every Kenyan is supposed to pay taxes on their vehicles, even the elected leaders are supposed to pay because they are Kenyans, but they exempt themselves because they feel they're better. This is not something that is exclusive to these leaders again. This is something that is deeply ingrained in Kenyan culture. And this is actually one of the reasons why a lot of Kenyans really struggle when they go abroad.
I'm going to disagree on that tax part, because on the tax, there is a report that was leaked. I saw it somewhere. These guys, these big CEOs, the billionaires, I'm talking about Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. I saw a report that these guys, they are involved in a kind of tax evasion. So I saw such kind of a report. So I think that tax evasion by the rich is a global thing, not just in Kenya. So
especially for men, because again, Kenya is a deeply patriarchal society and men are always left to get away with whatever they want because they are men. And when a lot of these African men, Kenyan men, get to a lot of these Western countries, they have a lot of trouble adjusting or even just living there because they don't understand that actions have consequences. There have been so many stories about a lot of Kenyans who have gone to Australia and they're actually getting into car accidents because they were speeding, or they actually get shocked when they open their mailboxes and they've been sent a fine because they sped on a highway where they didn't see anyone there.
Yeah, bro. Now that makes sense. Because there is a certain video I saw on TikTok. It was a guy, I think he was from Nigeria, and then he went abroad to Germany. Yeah, he went to Germany. So this guy, before he left from his country, he gave his friend his laptop. So his friend was using his laptop to download these pirated movies from sites such as, I don't know if it was Pirate Bay or what. So it happened that there were some videos that were paused. The downloading process was paused. So this guy flew to Germany, and when he went there, accessed the internet, so those movies were completed, or the download was completed while he was in Germany. So, and then some days later, he received a mail from Warner Bros. I think it's called Warner Bros. Or what? It's a company, a film company. So they are saying they were hitting him with a piracy lawsuit. They were telling him you have to pay something like 1,500 euros because you've messed up. You fucked up our piracy laws. You feel me? So he was ranting that like he couldn't afford it, but he ended up paying it because that's how it works. So in abroad or in such countries, these laws are strict. They are more strict compared to in Kenya. In Kenya, you can get away with their stuff, People do use pirated softwares like music. You can just download it online anywhere. But you see such instances happening, and then you go to another place, you are arrested, bro. So you need to be mindful.
Oh, but there was no one there who saw me speeding. They forget that in these Western countries, they have cameras.
Yeah.
Yes, even if you speed in a road that no one is seeing you, the camera has captured you, they're just going to send you the fine, and they always have the evidence. This reminds me, I read a story that there was former presidential aspirant in the Kenyan elections who has been arrested in the United States for stalking a woman, I think. In Kenya,
What?
there's so many men who are always stalking women, men who will even slap you.
Bro, even these abduction cases, bro.
On the street because you refuse to give them your number. And even if you take them to the police station, the police will be like, hatuwezi ingilia mambo ya watu wawili. Because again, a lot of men are given leeway, and there's always this idea that women are...
Bro, I'm going to weigh in on that matter of slapping women because they have not given you their number, bro. If you ever do that, you are a lame ass dude, bro. You are a lame ass dude. I'm going to repeat it. You are a lame ass dude, bro. Because of you are spoiling for us, bro. Like, I'm a kind of guy, not all the time, but let's say out of 20 women, I might approach 2, okay? Let's say even 4. So there is a time that I do approach women, and then everything is going well. You talk, you are vibing, and then the final step where you need to walk off comes in, and then you say, I'm going to meet up with my friend. Can I have your number? And you had already asked her to hang out later, okay? She said, cool, everything, blah, blah, blah. She gave me a number, okay? She gives you her number. And then when we go back to the crib, text her, she never replies back. And then I went through, that's normal, bro. That's rejection, okay? So I went to talk to my dog. So my friend is like, maybe he couldn't tell you face to face that he did not like you, bro. So I say, why? Just tell me you don't like me and I will take it as a man. But my dog told me there is another video he saw that a woman was explaining why she will always give men their number even though she doesn't like them. He says that he is afraid that these men might crash out, and the same way she is saying here that some men slap women because they don't give them their number, bro. That's weird, bro. So I think that stuff is that, let's say a woman doesn't like you and then she gives you her number just so that you might walk away from her, is a coping mechanism to avoid maybe crashing out. So I don't blame them, but I blame those men, bro. You are a lame ass dude, bro.
Men's property, and so even if a random man does anything bad to you, nothing's gonna happen to them because they're so used to this kind of culture. When they go to Western countries, they think that they can do the same things, but they end up in prison when they do the exact same things they do in a country like Kenya. I always found that a lot of Kenyan women, especially African women, thrive in Western countries because when you get to Western countries, there are not as many limitations that are put on you as a woman. You're even more free to do a lot of things. You can be ambitious, you can live your life however you want, you can dress however you want, you can easily get a job without someone telling you that, oh, you have to sleep with me for you to get this job. And something else that I've also been really noticing is this promotion of lawlessness. This is one of the things that always makes me laugh when I hear a lot of Kenyans complaining about Kenyan leaders. Look at them, they're stealing money, they're corrupt. What have they done to this country? I'm like, but you're the same people that are always encouraging these bad behaviors. I always read a lot of comments because comments will always tell you about people, about how they think, and about the general culture of a country. I always see in a lot of videos, especially on TikTok, people are so open on TikTok. They just say whatever it is comes to their mind. They don't even think twice about it.
Bro, let's be for real. Do you guys ever comment on TikTok or on YouTube? Bro, personally for me, it's rare. It's so rare. I don't want my comments used as a reference on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, bro. Because I see that there is no essence. If I have an opinion, I just keep it to myself, bro. Because anyway, how will that opinion help you in a country whereby only people with money are favored, bro? So the only way you can cope with it is getting your money up and maybe changing something. Otherwise, utati.
One of the things that I've recently seen was a video by Larry Mado where he was showing a video where he was blocking a matatu that was trying to overlap. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Overlapping is unlawful. I was really shocked when I looked at the comments, and it was a lot of comments. It was not just one comment. People being like, oh, let him overlap. Don't you know that he has targets that he needs to meet? Don't you know that he's in a hurry? And I'm like, wait a minute. These are the same people that are always complaining about leaders being corrupt, being unlawful.
That's what I was saying with the Sambaza stuff.
You're the one who is promoting lawlessness, not just in that one video. And when we look at the larger Kenyan society, you see that there's always a promotion of using shortcuts to get the money or the life that you want. It's something that is highly promoted, and then the same people are turning around and pretending they are shocked that their leaders are stealing money.
Yeah.
Or is it a case of, oh, if you do it, it's right, but if somebody else does it, then it becomes a problem?
It's just that we are having double standards, bro. If we want them to act a certain way, let us also act in the way that we want them to act, bro. That's why it works, bro. There is no way you want the laws to apply to other people. You are complaining, and then you are breaking the laws yourself because now they don't apply to you because you want to achieve things faster or any other reason, bro.
Problem. If somebody else is doing it, it's not benefiting you, then it's a problem. But once that unlawfulness starts benefiting you, then you don't have a problem with it anymore. The same way a lot of people have a problem with nepotism. When they benefit from it, now suddenly it's like, oh, it's networks. I'm just so baffled by this kind of culture. And this has really gone so bad to a point where abuse has become part and parcel of life. Cyberbullying, it's on a high. Social media has really nurtured this abusive culture in Kenya. And I'm just like, this has been a problem, but no one really cared about it. I remember when I spoke about femicide early last year, and then I was getting comments from people who are like, oh, you deserve to be killed for having a mouth because you're a woman who has opinions. These kinds of comments got a lot of likes. And I was like, so we've gotten to a point where as Kenyans, if you don't like what someone is saying, you think it's right for you to abuse them. You think it's right for this person to face violence. One of the
Bro, it's crazy, bro. Even if you have an opinion that is countering what someone has said, there is a proper way of doing it. It's not necessary to start being abusive. Now, these guys, bro, like I also create content, so I get such comments from time to time. So, bro, it's crazy. You get these people, and then they are hiding. When you go to their profile, there is no video. no picture that can trace them. They are the kind of people that I don't know how to say. They can't face their they don't have enough balls to face what they are doing. Okay, when the circumstances come up, it's crazy, bro.
Most astonishing things, especially in this abusive social media culture, is how a lot of Kenyans think that it's right for them to proclaim how they want to rape a creator in the comments, and that gets a lot of likes and people are there laughing. People are like, oh, me too. You know, one of the things that I've really had to come to terms with is realizing that my own country doesn't want me as a young person and as a woman. It really doesn't care. If you're a young person and you're a woman, this country has shown over and over again that it doesn't really care about you. Whatever happens to you, they don't care. They don't care. They're going to look for a way to make it look like you actually deserved whatever happened to you. And as a creator, as someone who has been on the receiving end of this abuse and this proclamation of violence just because I'm a woman, really makes me wonder, because it's very clear that this country really does not care about certain kinds of people, and it's not just the leaders, it's the larger Kenyan society. It's actually sad to know that our country is the way it is because majority of people want it to be like that. Anyway, my own experiences that I've had in this country have really taught me one thing, and that is it's really pointless to try and change things in this country. That's one of the reasons why I decided to stop being an activist, because you know what? You are going to put your own life in danger for people that, one, don't even care about you.
Yeah, you will die for people who don't care about you.
You're deserving of being treated like a human being. So you are fighting for people that don't care about you. To a lot of these people who always choose suffering over anything else. Majority of Kenyans just like suffering. And of course, I've spoken about this before because it's tied to a lot. A lot of people will always choose mediocrity. They like mediocrity because when leaders are mediocre, it means that the larger Kenyan society can be mediocre. They will always choose this lawlessness because when Kenyan leaders are unlawful, it means that the larger Kenyan society can also get away with being unlawful. It's really pointless to try and change things when majority of the people don't want to change, when people want to keep the status quo because they benefit from it, and it means that the bar goes so low because everything is so bad, and people want it that way because it means that they don't have to work too hard to get to where they want to be. They can take the shortcuts like everyone else. And ultimately, if you're someone that wants something different, you're going to be labeled as the problematic person.
That was a pressure video. Let me see the comments, what the comments are saying. Okay, the first one is Ethiopian here. People wanna eat me alive when I point out the problems in Ethiopia. You are so brave for saying this on social media. I agree. Our leaders are a direct representation of who we are. That's for sure. That's for sure. You are so right. Everyone should be treated with dignity and respect, but unfortunately, classism, ageism, and racism have become the norm. I am glad someone is speaking about it. Edit. In the US, there are a lot of Kenyans who get arrested for driving drunk and embezzling money. They think because they got away with it in Kenya, they can get away with it here. In Kenya, there is also a weird culture of people being jealous of your success. In their minds, they think you are trying to be better than them or make them feel bad, when in reality, you are just existing. I have experienced this too many times. Crazy, bro. That's what I'm going to say, man. And you can't be an activist because the same people you are trying to fight for, they are the same people that are going to crucify you, bro. They are not going to help you in any way. So I feel that in Kenya, bro, if you don't want too much headache, you just stay on your lane, grind, get your money right, and then maybe you can help a few of your family members or those people who are assisting you, and just keep quiet, bro. Keep up this social media stuff. I don't know, giving your opinion on something, and you are just good, bro. Because I feel like there is a way that you can have a lot of money, such that, of course, it's money that you have attained legally, such that these people, even if waeke laws are in a gani, they can't touch you, bro. They can't touch you. Otherwise, if you are just a poor guy, depending on the government, depending on other people, you're going to suffer in Kenya. Trying to be an activist, bro, is crazy, bro. Crazy. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this video.